you are not participating. They already choose leader for that country you are voting. So they make you to vote to make you feel like you are participating in your country election. But you are not. Because maybe Europeans have already chosen the leader who should become the president. What happened in Tanzania? When they poisoned John Pombe Magufuli, Tanzania former president, Europeans have already chosen that woman to become the leader before they poisoned John Pombe Magufuli. They already have chosen that woman to become the president. Europeans. I will not hide anything. I said it here before that Tanzania former president was murdered by European Union. We should ask them some questions. They should be asked. They should be asked some questions about John Pombe Magufuli death. European Union. And they have already prepared before that man will die. They have already prepared that woman to become the leader when that man is gone. And Tanzania, everybody feel like, oh, we participate. Nobody participate. Europeans participate to choose leader for Tanzania, because the leader that was there was doing only things that will favor Tanzania, but not things that will favor Europeans, Americans, and UK. And they were very angry to see a leader like who is becoming like Muhammad Gaddafi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, and Jomo Kenyatta, and others. They were very angry to see John Pombe Magufuli trying to do all his best to see that Tanzania people lives in good favor of his regime. They were feeling very sad and very angry, and they try all their best to take him out. Before they took him out, they choose a person who will be foolish and hang over every good natural resources of Tanzania to Europeans or Americans or UK. And that is the woman that is ruling Tanzania right now. Tanzania, I am not in Tanzania, and I am never in Tanzania, and I was never in Tanzania, and I never go there. But I believe if you are from Tanzania, you know what I am saying. Tanzania before in John Pombe Magufuli regime and this woman regime is different. That's a very big difference. Tanzania now is becoming difficult and difficult and difficult. And now, I will say one word, and I will want people to take this seriously. It's not a joke. I never joke about Africa. Rwanda President Mr. Paul, you are the next target. I don't know. But you are the next target for Europeans and Americans and UK are targeting. These three continents, they are targeting Rwanda President Mr. Paul. Be very careful, because you are doing very well for your country. And you are doing very well to see that Rwanda is very beautiful. Rwanda become the most beautiful countries in Africa. And I swear to God, you are the next person to be assassinated. Because Europeans, Americans, UK, they don't want to see any leader in Africa who is ready to see that Africa is united and Africa is beautiful. They don't want to see any president who stands for his people and defend his peoples. They want to see leaders who will wicked your own peoples, send soldiers to kill your own peoples on the street. They want peoples like this. And Rwanda President Mr. Paul, you are doing a very amusing job in Rwanda, and I really appreciate it. But my brother, Mr. President, Your Excellency Mr. Paul, Rwanda President, you should be very careful. Know who came closer to you. Because they will send your own fellow black people who are closer to you to assassinate you. They will not go by themselves to assassinate you, Mr. Paul, Rwanda President. Your fellow blacks around you, criticize them and suspect everyone beside you. Never trust no one. When you are a black legend and you want to make it, never trust no one around you. Be yourself. Be careful. Be suspective always to anyone. Because any leader that came out to stand for Africa, they assassinated them. All of them. When Muhammad Gaddafi came out and says, I want all Africa to use one currency, I want all Africa to have one president, they assassinated Muhammad Gaddafi. Because they know he have the power, he have the capacity to do it in Africa. And they know Africans believe him. So in this way, they know that with Mohammed Gaddafi leaving, he is going to do it. So they have to assassinate him. How did they assassinate? They assassinated African good leaders in different ways. John Pombe Magufuli, Tanzania former president, was assassinated by his own fellow black by poisoning his food. Mohammed Gaddafi was assassinated in a way by putting his country peoples in darkness and telling them that Mohammed Gaddafi is saving all Libyan money in the World Bank with his own name. While they are lying, they just want Libyan people to hate Mohammed Gaddafi, to start the fight. When Libyan people start to fight Mohammed Gaddafi, Europeans, Americans started to jump up and say they want to help Libyans. Because that's what they want. They just want to see that Mohammed Gaddafi is in a fight with Libyan peoples so that they will be, because they cannot go to Libya and fight Mohammed Gaddafi when Libyans doesn't start any fight. So what did they do? They forced Libyans and put them in darkness, told them that Mohammed Gaddafi is this and that and that. And Libyans started to hate Mohammed Gaddafi, started to fight against Mohammed Gaddafi. Till the fight started, Americans, Europeans started to stand up to say they want to defend and help Libyans. And during that fight, the first country to shoot Mohammed Gaddafi in his country was France. France is a very wicked country. France is a country that doesn't want to see Africa going forward. France is a country that wants to take every benefit from African currencies. France is a country that wants to rule the whole Africa, but is still impossible. France is a country that wants their own France money, whereby Senegal is using the same money, Guinea is using the same money, Mali was using the same money, Burkina was using the same money, Cote d'Ivoire was using the same money. They want the whole Africa to use France safer. This is the intention of France. France was the first country to shoot Mohammed Gaddafi in Libya, and all other countries started to join. When France is a country that was owing Mohammed Gaddafi millions of euros. They were owing Mohammed Gaddafi millions and millions of euros, what they cannot pay. If they pay, then France will go in hunger. Even the World Bank was owing Mohammed Gaddafi. Europeans were owing Mohammed Gaddafi. Even you, the Americans, bragging America is the biggest continent, America is the most beautiful place. You were owing Mohammed Gaddafi. UK, who is parading themselves, changing prime ministers like chicken, you were owing Mohammed Gaddafi. Italy, where they have been borrowing oil from Mohammed Gaddafi, they are owing Mohammed Gaddafi. How many of you, the European countries, are not owing Mohammed Gaddafi? Now, what they want, they get that, because they want Mohammed Gaddafi to be out on their way, so that they will not be able to pay that debt. They will not be able to pay that money because they can't pay back Mohammed Gaddafi. So they have to join together to bring a fight in Libya, to fight Mohammed Gaddafi, and to help Libyans to destroy Mohammed Gaddafi, and Libya to be destroyed, so that there will be no president who will ask them for that money that they are owing Libya. And that's what happened. Now there is no leader in Libya who will ask Europeans or Americans or UK about the money that they are owing Libya. And now, yesterday I was watching when France was trying to deport peoples, and Italy says they will not accept migrants. There are so many problems that when we the black people sit and think about it, we will be very wise without nobody advising us. I say all this, I sit here every day to say all this, to make sure that my black people, their mentality is changed, to see what I am seeing about Africa. We need to change our mentality. France is now deporting peoples back to Italy. When Italy refused to accept migrants, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni says she will never accept any boat that came from Libya. This came from Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. And when they pushed that boat to France, and France now took them back to Italy, and Italy now took those migrants again and put them in deportation camp. This is happening right now as I am speaking to you. Those peoples are living in deportation camp. They want to deport them back. But I want to ask Giorgia Meloni, the Italian Prime Minister, do Italy have that money to deport more than 30 migrants? Let's be sincere. You know, when I said it sometimes, some black people say, oh, Italy have money, they can deport. You don't know what is economy. Do Italy have that money to deport more than 30 migrants? Do they have? I know how Italy deport migrants. Italy push migrants to Austria, Austria push to Germany, and Germany deport them back to Africa. Because Italy was not strong to deport migrants. And now they have a new prime minister who is a woman called Giorgia Meloni, who says she will never accept any boat that came from Libya. She wanna close the migrants coming from Libya to Italy. She wanna stop it. I wanna say one thing. I know Italians, a lot of them cannot speak, 90% of Italians can speak English, but I will say this, and I will post it later on TikTok also for them to hear. That Salvini do here last time, the former Italian Prime Minister Salvini, Matteo Salvini, when he refused to accept the boat, what happened in Italy? After that, water destroyed the whole Italy. And second again, Giorgia Meloni refused to accept migrants from the boat. Remember my word, water will come and destroy Italy again second time. You know, when you don't believe in God, you think you are a God. When you don't believe in God. But when you believe in God and you believe what God says if you don't respect strangers, then you are ready to receive bondage. If any country doesn't respect strangers, then be ready to receive bondage. Because God says we are all strangers in this world. One day we will all leave. Here is not our compound. We all came here as a stranger. So we are all strangers. Nobody can say, here is my compound forever. Nobody. Because one day you will live here. So any place you can stay permanently is not still yet yours. So every human being in this planet here, we are all strangers. All animals, we are all strangers. Trees, we are all strangers. Everything in this planet today, we are all strangers. One day we will all go back. So this is a place to do exam and go back to see your results. If you believe in God, you will know what I am saying. So if Italy is now rejecting migrants, none of African countries is affected. Italy is now rejecting their own peoples. France is now rejecting African peoples. None of the African countries are affected. Their economy is not affected. But when there was a war between Ukraine and Russia, African leaders came out. It affects our economy. It affects our economy. I want to ask, if African leaders are not begging Europeans for money, how did Russia and Ukraine war affect African economy? We should ask our leaders this question. All African leaders should answer this question. That if they are not depending on Europeans, if they are not begging Europeans for money, how did Ukraine and Russia war affect African economy? And now they are telling me you don't know about the global. I saw so many black people comment last time. They says, my brother, you don't know about global economy. Who are you going to tell global economy? Global economy you are talking about, you don't even know, and none of the African leaders know what global economy is the damage that is causing in Africa. Every country that enter in global economy, their country become a dead country in Africa. This is what they says in the global economy meeting. They says they want to make sure that Africa remain where it is. They can exclude Africa from global economy, because if they exclude Africa, they can't get what they want to take from Africa. So they have to include Africa in global economy to pretend that they want Africa to be in that group, but they are going to benefit. Whatever Africa is going to do there, it is going to benefit them, not Africa. This is what they says. I will not lie. Europeans know what I am talking about. Americans know what I am talking about. UK, they know what I am talking about. You know, I can only drag word with government, but not civilians who against me and said, my brother, is not true. Because you don't know what is going on. Global economy, they put African countries to benefit from them, but they don't put African countries in global economy for African countries to be developed. How many years, for a decade now, our African countries have been in this global economy? How much of development do you see in African countries? Zero from global economy. But come to Europe, global economy benefit Europe. Global economy benefit UK. Global economy, America is benefiting from it, except Africa. And this is what they says in the meeting, and I have been sharing the video from the ideology man who says they should not exclude Africa. They should not minus Africa from the global economy, because when they minus Africa from the global economy, then they are not going to get what they want to get from Africa. And Africa have all its tax to stand on its own. So they have to make sure that Africa remain poor. Because when they exclude Africa from global economy, Africans are going to make it, and Europeans and Americans and UK are going to go down. And they said they don't want to go down.